We're with the chairman of Selectors, former West Indies batsman and captain Clive LLoyd. Clive, one of the things which quickly seemed to be accepted by Caribbean people is that people relate your role as chairman of Selectors and think that the kind of success you had in 75 and 79 and onwards will be automatically maybe gained by the present squad.
Well, and you know, we have some very good cricketers, there's no doubt about that. Our era is gone, as I said the other day. It's their time, it's entirely up to them to make their own way and do their own thing. We have the talent. I must say that the pool of talent I've seen with the under-19s and the senior players, we have a lot of talented cricketers. And I'm sure that once it's harnessed properly, we have an exciting time ahead.
We had the matches against Bangladesh. Were you happy as chairman of Selectors for what, if I can say it this way, what the Selectors got out of it, what you all saw?
Well, yes, I was quite heartened by the way they played. Left a lot of balls alone. They didn't give away their hand. You know, they sort of played each ball in its merit, and that will happen in the future. That's how people will bowl to us, hoping that, you know, we have players who just want to be flamboyant, making a quick 40 or 30. They showed a type of professionalism that I like, and I'm sure that my other selectors were quite heartened by what we saw. And we think that these next two tours coming up will be, I think it could be a defining period in our cricket. We're playing against two of the best teams in the world. I think they're number one in one days and one in Test cricket. So we have, I would think, a very tough tour coming up, and it's just to see if we have all our players there, how they will sort of perform.
You have come out what has been a fairly interesting statement and well received in most quarters, that players need to show loyalty to the West Indies. What was in your thinking when you made that statement?
Well, the point is that the board would like to see people sort of, and according to the contract, they like to see them show loyalty to our cricket, and our cricket should be first. It's not any other cricket first than West Indies. West Indies cricket should be first. And it's not that we want to stop anybody from earning money. They're saying, yes, you can earn money, but when we have our cricket, we like you to play with our young players, let them get the benefit of your experience. And you know, all the other countries seem to get their professional players back home playing for the country and doing well. And we want the same thing. We will never sort of get back to the top position if we chop and change and, you know, and pick people when they're available. We have to have a settled side, and I think it's the captain, any captain that has that sort of situation where you just know where the next four players are coming from, will not do well. I think its consistency is important.
There don't seem to be an issue with the upcoming Tour of India. That doesn't clash. The South African tour is also unaffected. I suppose the main decision by players whether they will respond to your being loyal comes up when England tours and you have the window of the IPL.
Well, yes, this is a one-off situation, but you know, as I said, West Indies cricket should come first. The guys they're doing quite well, and we want them to continue to monetarily, because you're giving the best part of your life to the sport, and you want to be compensated for that, and they will be. There's no doubt about that. So it's a judgment call, and they'll have to look at it and make that call.
And of course, as selectors, you all would have looked at a plan B in case players have taken that decision to go to the IPL next year. You will have enough cover?
I think we have a lot of good young cricketers coming through, and yes, we cover all eventualities, and I'm sure that I'm hoping that the players make the right decision.
how important is the parallel tour to Sri Lanka with the A side once with the Indian tour not too far away?
Well, that's good too, in the sense that they'll be playing some cricket. You want all our cricketers to be engaged in cricket, just in case there is some injury or injuries. You know, you have other players to call on, and that has been a dream of mine, that we should play more 18 cricket, because you don't play enough cricket when a tour comes here. They play one warm-up game, then it's test match, then it's one day, and then they're away. It's long gone are the days where they're playing against Barbados, Trinidad, Jamaica, and so on, the combined islands. So the point is, we have to make use of our 8 tours, and that's where we hope that our players will develop, because the 8 tour players are future test cricketers.
I don't disrespect the protocol. I know you can't name sides, but can we expect maybe some of the players who may be going to India could also be taking to Sri Lanka to get some practice in the Indian subcontinent area?
Yes, I think there might be, yes, that sort of situation, and but we've thought about it, and I think we've settled on a good side, and a lot of them, and they'll have enough practice on both occasions.
Your side was a mentally tough side over the years. You think you would like to see this side get mentally stronger? Because when we move to the higher level, I think other than the physical preparation and the nets preparation, the mental side is very important.
Well, it's not only mental side, I think physical side too, because you know, you don't want guys breaking down, because then you're not playing your top class players. So the physical side is very important, and the mental side. Now, when we are playing the tours coming up in this winter, we have to be mentally strong to get through it, and I'm hoping that we'll gather that sort of mental strength as we go along, because there's no way you'll move from where we are to the top without being mentally mature.
The conditions in India will be very much different to the conditions in South Africa. Can we imagine that the two touring sides might have a slight difference because of the conditions?
Well, yes, but you still want to play your best players. Your best players should be able to play on any surface given, and I'm sure that our players will be able to adjust. If it's slow, I think our batters can, we have quite a few slow wickets here, so it wouldn't be alien to us. It's a situation where they'll probably face more balls, in the sense that they'll have a lot more spinners, and so your concentration has got to be good. India's now producing quite a few swing bowlers, and some of them are nippy, and so your all-round cricket has got to be, top class to do well there. But I think that we do have the capacity to do well in India.
What's important about the side doing well in India? Your first tour was to India in '67. What's important for players to have a good tour?
Well, it's there again, as I said, it's the mental strength. You will face a lot more balls. You now have the DRS system, and you can't kick at balls or whatever. You have to play at them. You have to have soft hands when you play, and it's more or less a concentration. And
play in front of large crowds.
Yes, it's obvious, and they're going to be partisan crowds too. So the point is, this is a great test. This winter would be a great test for our young players, and we've got quite a few in there, and I'm hoping that they will pass that test.
Apart from Shiv Chanchapal and Chris Gale, and the squad basically is a fairly young squad.
Yes, well, and still we have a lot of guys on the sidelines. We have some good players in the A side, and they'll be snapping in the heels of the senior players, and that's how it should be. As Bill Shankly said, that from Liverpool Football Club, the two best teams in England were Liverpool and Liverpool Reserves.
Well, I think what's important here, Clive, is that Caribbean people, cricket lovers, all Caribbean people has got to be patient. They can't expect instant success, but they want the side to be competitive in India and South Africa.
Yeah, surely, and it's obvious that they've suffered quite a lot for quite a long while. But the point here is that if we have a settled side, we will do well. We have to have a settled side. We cannot have, this chopping and changing and so on as we've had in the past. And that was no fault of the selectors or anything like that. It's just that people were not available because they had to go elsewhere. So in order for us to get up that top of the ladder, we'll have to play very good cricket, and that means intelligent cricket. We have to be physically fit. We have to put in a little bit more in our training, and we have to have a settled side.
How important, Clive, is that there need to be self-belief in self and a sense of history of what transpired before you?
Well, yes, I think we have a great history. When you think that we only have 6 million people, and for 19 years we were champions of the world at one-day and test matches, and even before then with the 3 Ws and so on, the Garfield Sobers era, and we had our era. Now we want to have this era here because we have some very good young cricketers, and I hope that they will understand their sense of history. They must believe in themselves if they want to play for the West Indies and to be a household name. You have to have that self-belief, and I'm sure that they understand all of that. But that's why I think that this tour coming up here would be a very life-changing tour for some of these young players, because it'll be a tough one. They'll be playing from next month right up to Christmas, and then there's the World Cup, and then we have England. So we have a lot of cricket, in the next 5 or 6 months.
That leads me to my next question, maybe my final question. You just mentioned World Cup. You will be working very, very closely with the team because of your experience and the success to make them competitive in that World Cup. You think we have the makeup of a strong World Cup side?
Oh yes, I think we have one of the best one-day sides in the world. If we have the same combination of players, when you look at the players we have, they can compete with any nation. I think that we have a very good chance of winning the World Cup if we get all our players together, and that would be a tremendous lift for the region and for the young people who would like to represent the West Indies.
Right. Well, the team will be announced. We look forward to naming of the side to India and the naming of the side to Sri Lanka for the A team, and it provides a great deal of opportunity for many players.
Oh yes, we want to give all our youngsters a chance to to get that experience early now, so that when they're thrown into the big world of Test cricket, that they're ready, they're mentally tough, they're physically fit, and I'm sure that we have a lot of young players who would fit into those areas.
As a rider, when England comes next year, it's important that our first-class season is going on. So whilst England is touring, guys are getting practice who are not maybe then in the squad.
Yes, I think that I don't know the fixtures at the moment, but I'm sure that they'll be looking at that, and that is something that is in the pipeline. But I'm sure that we'll always have players on hand if we have any injuries.
Clive, thank you very much for the interview.
Pleasure.